Number 6, Jigsaw's Legacy from the Jigsaw Blogs. Alright, Jacob, you've been on this list a lot, but I have to say this is probably one of the better ones. I really like a lot of it, and we're going to get into it. But first and foremost, like every time, go down to the description section, hit that link, go check out Jacob's channel as well as this pitch. Jumping in, man, you have to tell me about the courtroom scene. I know it's not the first thing that happens, but we're not going to go beat by beat. They can go watch the pitch. Courtroom scene, I love it. I haven't incorporated it into any of mine. What brought that out?
Well, I knew that you were a lawyer, first of all. I knew they'd get popped. Like, yeah, I get extra points for my votes if I put a courtroom scene in my movie. But no, actually, I think it made sense. It just made sense. And the reason why it made sense is because, what would happen if, Jigsaw got caught and actually got taken to jail? Well, obviously, and that's what I did. And basically, Jigsaw's legacy in this pitch, like I said, in order for this pitch to work, the Jigsaw 2 pitch, which we had number 8, needs to be the Saw TV show. And so those events need to happen. And then Logan's been caught. Basically, spoilers for that pitch right there. Basically, all you need to know is Eleanor won the game. She got access to Jigsaw's legacy, and Logan got caught in the end by Keith and got arrested and taken to jail. Oh, and Hoffman's alive.
We're gonna get to that because it's so corny. I love it. I guess the real question I'm having is how much of a plot point would the courtroom scene be? Would it be just kind of over and done, or is it something that you're going to hang a whole lot of the movie on?
I would say it would happen like at the 10-minute mark of the movie, maybe from the 10 to like the, I wouldn't have it go over 10 minutes or so. Maybe like keep it under 10 minutes. But there are a lot of things need to happen. Like I start off, like I said, Logan wakes up in his jail cell. He's from his PTSDs, and then it's his trial date. He goes in there. Keith's in there. His daughter's in there, and Keith's kind of taking over, the guardian role for his daughter and stuff like that. And then we could see, Logan, after with all the evidence coming out that, he's been associated with Jigsaw, and then we find out he's the only Jigsaw associate that the police actually apprehended. And because he's one of the known Jigsaw associates that they can legally prove was there from the beginning, then, essentially it's, the chickens that come home to roost, and unfortunately Logan's going to be paying the price. Maybe for things that, he wasn't necessarily responsible for, but in a way he's been connected to because of what John Kramer's did. And you could bring in, Jigsaw survivors. They can give their testimonies and stuff like that. And maybe we could see in a courtroom scene, how has Jigsaw's legacy really affected these Jigsaw survivors? What happened to them after 10 years? Did they learn Jigsaw's method? Are they going to tell stories? Are they actually going to be truthful and say, no, I'm actually better through what I've gone through? Or you could see, different people. Maybe you could take the Simone character. She'd be like, no, I've learned nothing. It ruined my life. And like I said, Logan's like, you deserve to go to hell. You deserve to go to prison and stuff like that. And you could see, how different survivors will react. And we could see in a courtroom scene, what happened to these characters. First of all, like, are they still alive? What are they doing now in their lives? And what their thoughts are on John Kramer. You can bring in someone like Corbett Denlin, Daniel Matthews, Brad, Ryan, Tara, whoever they can bring back just as like, casting call. And then they all give testimony on the stand. Logan just has to sit there and watch all these people give testimonies and stuff like that. And you can have Eleanor come in. She can give her testimony on what she thinks about Logan, how even though she lost her arm, but what does she really feel Logan? What is he guilty of?
I really like the fact that it's kind of this placeholder to have a very brief, like, I know you have the whole beginning beforehand, but if you want it not to be an entire part of the movie, I would say have it be the very beginning of the movie, because if it's the very beginning of the movie, it's just this reminder, a very quick, easily understood way, and an interesting narrative focus to go back and re-explain the entire franchise up into this point. Like, who John is, who Amanda is, who Hoffman is, who Logan is, like all these people, and try to bring it all together while also bringing in all of these survivors from the earlier films, and do it very briefly. I do like the idea of doing it that way in order to just kind of figure out everything that happened up until this point, and now we're here telling our own story. So there's your catch-up. It's a television show. This is what happened last time, and here's our series finale, And the courtroom scene gets us to one of the most wacky things I've ever seen be suggested for a Saw film, in which A Billy puppet crashes a bus.
Oh, well, come on. Like, you can't run over a puppet. Like, especially a bus driver's going 60 miles an hour and he sees a tricycle wheel out in the middle of the road. Of course he's going to swerve off the edge of the road and crash that. Let's say this bus is carrying, prisoner transports, and maybe Logan and Keith are on that bus.
Okay, without really going too much into everything, I want you to focus on the ending, as well as probably one of the most brutal things that we've ever seen, at least teased, in a Saw movie, which I think is going a little too far. And we were talking about this before, and Dallas even said he put it up high because of this scene. Like, it was brutal to him. And this is a guy who has all his traps and his pitches that would gross anybody out. But tell us a little bit about the ending and how that breaks down.
Well, essentially, if you go back and watch the pitch, essentially the story is Hoffman versus Logan. And so basically Hoffman's back. He's out for revenge. Essentially his goal, he has two goals. Number one, kill Logan. Number two, try to kill everybody associated with Jigsaw, get access to the work that Eleanor won, and then just destroy everything and erase John's legacy. And that's his end goal for this game. And it all starts with trying to kill Logan. And so Logan escapes the bus with Eleanor, and essentially Hoffman has a game for Logan to play along with all the Jigsaw survivors. And we find out Logan has no choice to play this game because Hoffman kidnapped his daughter. And so Logan, because Hoffman has his 10 or 11-year-old daughter held hostage, then Logan has to go play. And the ending is this, and the one that I think it disturbs a lot of people. Yeah, I put a 10-year-old girl in a reverse bear trap.
That's too much, man.
It's too far, but of course the girl doesn't die. People, come on. But I think Hoffman would cross that line if he really is meant. Because think of what Hoffman's gone through. Do you think he really cares about a 10-year-old girl at this point?
No.
Probably not. So, just to get his point across, And so, essentially, we get to the end of the game where it's just Eleanor, Logan, and Hoffman. And in this room, Hoffman has his daughter, Melanie, in the reverse bear trap. And Logan's got to find a way to get her out. While in exchange, Eleanor drops the work off in order to give Hoffman a time to escape. And essentially, thank God, Logan and Eleanor both overpower Hoffman. Logan manages to save his daughter, but Hoffman manages to escape. And if you want to find out what happens, just go check the pitch idea, but I think it's really satisfying as to what happens. Did Hoffman get away? What happens to Logan? How does Logan and Eleanor's relationship end? Like I said in the last pitch, it's one of those will they, won't they relationships. And I kind of give my answer to it, but has its own take. But then again, the ending also sets up, what was John Kramer's final message to the world. And I'm really happy with how it turned out.
No, I like that too. We were just talking about it before we started recording, and I kept saying, it's so sad because you did this ending, and I was thinking somewhat similar for mine, but I had to change it around because you and I think very similarly when it comes to these pitches. The reason this one's high as opposed to all your other ones, or the reason this one's higher than all your other ones, I think, is because of that ending. Not only, John's final message, but also the twist at the end being, even if that would never amount to a sequel or something, I feel like it would be more cathartic, at least 10 times more cathartic than what we got with the ending of the final chapter in Saw 3D. So, guys, we're going to leave it at that. Go make sure to check out the pitch when you have some time, and come back tomorrow for more SAW-Tober content. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's been real.